This is F6 day 1 and we're introducing you to OR for the OR sound. So when we put a vowel with an R, it becomes an R controlled vowel. So OR is one of the easier ones where we have OR always makes the OR sound. So we've got OR, or for, or k fork, k or k cork, k or n corn, t or n torn, p or t port, sh or t short, t or ch torch, m or n ing morning. Let's have a look at what these words mean in a minute. We just also need to revise that after a long sound, and whenever you have a vowel with an R, the R controlled vowels, they're always going to be making a long vowel sound. So you'd have to use a K after a long vowel sound. Here we're revising the CH, and we've got the SH here too, and you know ing quite easily. Okay, so or, your mum might say, would you like an ice cream or a cake? So there's another or as well. This is the mineral ore that we take from the ground, and it's spelt differently so we know it means something different. For, this for is where you might use a pen for writing. This is the number 4. They're spelt differently so that you know that they mean different things. A fork is something that you eat, and sometimes when you're driving along there might be a fork in the road where the road divides into 2 and you have to decide which way you're going to go. You can have a fork in a tree as well. So it just means when something divides off into more than one piece. A cork is a material that they used to put in the top of wine bottles to hold the wine inside. Corks, you sometimes find them now still, and they float. They're quite fun to play with in water. Corn is from a corn cob. You can have popcorn where you dry the corn out and then cook it and you make popcorn, but sometimes people like to eat corn off the cob, and sometimes you can cut the corn off the cob and just eat it. Torn is this poor man's torn his pants, so he's got a split in his pants, means they're ripped. A port means a place where we put things that we carry. So port can also mean to carry. So a heliport would be a place where helicopters come to land. You can have an airport where planes come into land, and you can have a seaport where ships will come into harbour. Short is the opposite to tall, so someone might be tall, another person may be short. Means they're a lot lower in size. Torch could be a beacon that we hold up at night time to help us see. Now we have torches which run with batteries, but in the olden days they just have to hold sticks up with fire on the end of them. But we can use a torch especially when we go camping. The morning is when you wake up, when the sun comes up, and the opposite to morning is night, where the sun goes down and we go to bed. So the morning's when you wake up. Okay, let's read these words, sound them and spell them, and then write them. So we've got or, O-R, O-R, O-R. So we cover it and write O-R, O-R. We might do another one because that's just quite a simple one. Or, F-O-R, F-O-R, F-O-R. Cover it, F-O-R, F-O-R, F-O-R. You can finish all of those on your own, and don't forget to colour in the special sounds in the word. This is F6 day 2, and we're revising the OR for the OR sound that we talked about yesterday. So let's read these words. We've got or for, or k fork, k or k cork, k or n corn, t or n torn, p or t port, sh or t short, t or ch torch, m or n ing morning. So what you have to also do is colour the OR in each of these words, and we've got some extra things in here that we're revising. We know that after a long vowel sound we use a K for the k sound. So I've got a couple of words with that in, and after a long vowel sound we use ch for the ch at the end of a word. And you know ing, we can add ing to the end of a word, so that's just finishing off that word into morning. Okay, let's have a look at what we have to do on this page. It says fill in the gap with the missing list word. My shirt is, and you have to find a word up here that would fit in there. The sun comes up in the, so once again look up there for those words, and you can finish reading the rest of those and filling in the missing word. Write the list word to match the meaning. Not long would probably be short, so you can write the word in and you can cross it off when you've used it so you know you don't have to use it again. Fill in the gap with the correct word. Now this is tricky because we can spell for, F-O-R, meaning we can go for a walk, or we can spell the number, F-O-U-R. So they're spelled differently to show, make it easy for the reader and the writer to know that they mean different things. This or, it would be used to say, which would you prefer? Would you like a lolly or an ice cream? This or means a mineral that we take out of the ground. So we spell it differently by putting an E on the end to show that it means something different from this word. So you have to work out which word is used in each of these sentences. Would you like a pet cat or dog? So you'd have to work out which or to put in there. Join two words to make a new word and write. So we're making some more compound words here. We could have popcorn, air. I wonder what would go with air. Airport and corn. You could work out the rest of those on your own. Now don't forget to start the page after you've coloured in all these words up here that you have to read the word, sound it, spell it and write it. So we've got or, O-R, cover it and write it. Or, F-O-R, cover it, no. Fork, or k, F-O-R-K, cover it and write it. Off you go. This is F6 day 3 and we're revising that OR can make the OR sound. When we put a vowel with an R, it becomes an R-controlled vowel. And all R-controlled vowels make a long vowel sound. So we've got R, or, So 3 of these make the same sound. AR and OR are the easy two, and we're doing OR today, so lucky you. Okay, so we've got or, got or for, or fork, or cork, or corn, or torn, or port, or short, or torch, or ing, morning. So you have to read the word, sound the word, spell the word and write it. So we've got or, cover it and write it. For, or, F-O-R, cover it and write it. And so forth. You can finish those off. Don't forget that after a long vowel sound, we put a K at the end of a short word. And don't forget, after a long vowel sound, we use CH. And here you know ing at the end of a word is ing. Now plural means more than one. So if we have one fork, we would have many forks. So all you have to do is write fork and put the S on the end. Sometimes we have to put ES on the end. When we hear is, we write ES on the end. So we've got one torch, two torch, is. So when you hear that is, you know you're writing ES. One corn, lots of. Oh, that's tricky because you don't say one corn, lots of corns. You say one corn or a lot of corn. When you go to the movies and you buy a box of popcorn, you don't say, I'm eating a box of popcorns. You just say corn. So you don't do anything to the word corn, you just leave it as corn. Comparators and superlatives are when we're talking about the more or the most of something. So comparative is where we compare two things and we add ER, And a superlative is a supergroup. It's like lots and lots of things. And we add est at the end to make it say the most of something. But here it's a nice easy activity. You just have to write the base word. What's the base word to shorter and shortest? I'm going to leave you to work that one out. Proofread means you have to find the word that's written correctly. You can circle it if you like, and then you have to write it on the line. Down, you can finish off the rest of those, they're quite easy. Fill in the correct verb. A verb is something we can do. So he has tore his pants or he has torn his pants. So using it in its correct tense is very important to make the sentence make sense. Put in alphabetical order. You know you have to say the alphabet. When you find a word starting with that letter, we're going to number them. So A, no B, no C. Yes, we've got a C, so I'll put a number 1 there. You can finish the rest of those, and then you've got to write the words on that line down the bottom. This is F6, day 4, and we're revising that OR can make the long vowel sound OR. So whenever we put a vowel with an R, we call them an R-controlled vowel. So we've got AR, or, So 3 of these make the same sound, AR is easy, it says R like in car, and OR is easy, it says OR like in corn. Okay, so what we're going to do over here, we've got some word chains, and you've got a sound sort down the bottom here. So let's see what we have to do at the top. Make new words by changing one letter in these words. So if you change fort to, and the picture will give you the hint, change fort to port. Change fork to cork. That's a cork that you put in a bottle. A port is where the ships pull in to a port. Change horn to torn. Change born to, and the picture will tell you. Change torch to, and that's another word for a veranda at the front of your house would be a porch. Torch, porch. So you're only changing the first letter. Change sort to fort. Now here I've highlighted the last 3 letters of each word, so you're going to go from worn to torn, rope to hope. So it's the last 3 letters of those words that you have to finish off these words with. You might need to highlight them too to make it easier for yourself. Down the bottom it says fill in the gaps with the correct sound and write under the correct sound group. So we've got OR, you've already learned AW can make the OR sound, and now we're learning OR can make the OR sound. So what you have to do in your head is organise all the AW for the OR sound words together and all the OR for the OR sound words together in your head, so you know which one to use in a word. Okay, so we've got AW and OR for the OR sound. Let's see, t or n. If you're not sure, have a go at writing it, and if it looks correct, you can write it under the animal that it goes with. If it doesn't look correct, then rub it out and try the other OR sound. You might have to do that as a group. So put in the missing OR sounds first and then write them down the bottom when you know they're correct. You can finish that page on your own. You may even like to go through and colour in the OR sound every time you see it, the OR. Off you go.